Hi, today I'm going to be teaching you how to do this integral over here using partial fraction decomposition and some other things. This is a little bit more difficult than it looks, so let's get right into it. First of all, we're going to split this integral into two different ones. This is x minus 1, so we're just going to split it to the x and the minus 1. Then these x's are going to cancel, right? We used a different color for that. So we can rewrite this as well, that's going to be integral of 1 over x minus 2. So it should be obvious to you, or anybody who's watching, that this is just going to be the natural log of the absolute value of x minus 2. Now, we're just going to leave that there. We're going to deal with this thing over here now. So this is going to be equal to this part over here. I'm not going to worry about that negative sign. I'll just stick it over here so we don't forget. This is going to be equal to the integral of a over x plus the integral of b over x minus 2. This is called partial fraction decomposition. Now we're going to find a and b. So we know that 1, because 1 is over here, is going to be equal to a times x minus 2 plus b times x. Now, how do we know that? Well, we know that because we can just kind of figure it out right here. This 1 over x times x minus 2 over here is going to be equal to a over x plus b over x minus 2. So you can see how this x here, right here, is going to be multiplied over there because the x minus 2 will cancel. This x minus 2 is going to be multiplied over there because the x will cancel. All right. So then what we're going to do is we're going to give ourselves two different cases. The first case is x equals 2. Now the reason we're saying this is because you want to cancel out this term over here. So with this x minus 2 case, x equals 2, we get 1 equals 0, because 2 minus 2 is 0 times a is 0, plus b times 2. So 1 equals 2b, so b equals 1/2. Now let's look at the other case. The other case is going to be x equals 0. So then we can get rid of this b term right there. So when x is equal to 0, we get 1 equals a times 0 minus 2 equals negative 2a, right? So a must be equal to negative 1/2. All right, so if a is equal to negative 1/2, then let's scroll down a little bit. Yeah, if a is equal to negative 1/2, then we get this integral of 1 times x minus 2, right? 1 over x times x minus 2 is going to be equal to this integral over here of negative 1/2 over x plus, plus this, and let me just check that I got that right. Yeah, plus this 1/2 over x minus 2. Now we can obviously take things out, right? This is equal to 1/2 times the integral of negative 1. Actually, let's take out the negative 2 since we can cancel that later. 1/2 times the integral of 1 over x plus, I'm just going to do this all in one because I don't feel like writing the integral sign again, plus 1 over x minus 2. And then we can just put that back up here with our ln of x minus 2, absolute value of x minus 2. So let's solve that very quickly. This becomes 1/2, but this negative cancels out, right? This negative that we had down here is actually going to cancel out with this negative that we had here before. So then we can just say, okay, well, if that's 1/2, we know that this is gonna, whoops, still in the highlighter there. This over here will be ln absolute value of x. This over here will be ln absolute value of x minus 2. Then we get a little bit tricky because we forgot to actually take out this negative over here. So this used to be positive, but now for some reason it's not positive anymore. All because we took out this negative and made it into this negative 1/2 over here. So now it's going to be ln of that minus ln of that, right? Then we can plug that back in, and we get ln x minus ln x minus 2. And then we can say that ln x minus 2 minus half of itself, right, because this is distribution right there, is going to be equal to 1/2 ln absolute value of x minus 2 plus, all right, yeah, plus 1/2 ln absolute value of x. Now, we're going to use some log rules here. We're going to say this is equal to 1/2 of the ln. And now remember, adding natural logarithms, we can just multiply the things inside together. X times x minus 2 plus c. And here is your answer. Right? Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and see you next time.